Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing phase 1 and 2 of the Gundam PG Unleashed build. Dead excited for this. A little bit nervous, to be honest. I've been looking forward to this since the unboxing. It's time to start building it up. Let's take you through it. I'll give you my observations as I go through the build, and at the end I'll give you a bit of a review about what I think about phase 1 and 2. Okay, so looking through the first phase, we've got in the instructions, which is really cool, a bit of a diagram about what it is that we're making. So we're making the part of the phase for the leg frame. It's got marked in these all of the actual sprues that we're going to need. So first thing's going to identify the sprues that we need, pick them out of the plastic, and then basically get myself in a position where I've got all them sprues to one side and then I can go through each bit. But that is really, really good. I haven't seen this in any of the other type of instructions. It might be in some of the newer models that I've not done, but the fact that you can then go, I don't know, down from say 20 sprues to what is effectively about 9, it is wicked. Let's do that. We'll sort out the sprues and then we'll start building the legs. Okay, so I think I've got everything I need. So on there we need two D frames. So there are our 2 Ds. We need 2 of the C3 2 of the C3 frames. So that is them. I got an MSF2, which I've got the 1 there, so that isn't quite, yeah, there we go. MSF2, which is that one. And then we've got an F1, and it says 2 of them times 2, but that one is, oh, I get it. Okay, they need to be split. So that is the F2, which means this duplicate is also, boom, that one's the F2 as well. So that makes sense. There's 2 of them there. Don't think we need the MSF1. It's going to be for another part of it. We've got part of P3, which is just off the shield part. Some of the gold parts, which is W, it's just the pieces that is, no sorry, it's V1. It's just some of the pieces that are required for that, and it does actually show you here which bits you need to cut off a sprue, which is really good. It's just sort of highlighted in pink. And then we've got a couple of the chrome bits that we needed off of here on the chrome section. It says we're going to need the etching stickers. That's fine, they're at one side. We're going to build this part now and build the legs up and see how we get on. So it took me about 2 seconds to be amazed by this. I'm probably sharing stuff that people have already said, but this sprue, which is here, MSF2, has got a plastic part on it, which I didn't realise was 2 different types of plastic moulded into one. And what I mean by that is there is a dark frame and a slightly lighter frame put over it. But in engineering it and what it looks like is the injection moulding it, they've actually made it so that it moves, but yet it's basically all attached to each other. It's actually it's just a little bit mind-blowing, and it's just there. If you can just see it, that moves, but that's come straight off a sprue. Now I've not built loads of these, so I've never seen that before, but like, there you go, the hinge. Just wanted to remark on it. Absolute feat of engineering. 2 different types of plastic, must be injection molded at the same time. Well, sorry, it did it for different times in order to create it. But yeah, how cool is that? And that's going to form, I think, the base part for the leg. But I'll crack on. I just wanted to remark on that. I've not seen that. I did know it was a bit of a feature. I have heard other people talk about it, but I think when you get your hands on it, you can't believe it. That's what they're doing. Absolutely mega. Okay, so I think that's a right leg made. That is mega. Details absolutely brilliant. Some of the use of the gold bits is fantastic. The bits that you've got for the photo etching, which are in here, which come on this sheet, are really difficult to get off. I think it's mainly me messing it up, and I think now I've worked out if you peel this off that you can actually get to the parts that you want to get to without much drama. But originally I was trying to take it off from this side. This side is actually the adhesive side by the feel of it. This has got a bit more detail on it, which is really hard to see on this camera, I think. But effectively I'm happy which way it goes round, but actually getting it off, not that easy, to be honest. So yeah, managed to get that in place. Pretty happy with that. Generally, marks and bits and pieces are very good, very well hidden. There are some other little bits and marks which I think are going to get covered, but it seems to do a very good job of getting the nub marks and stuff in a place where you aren't going to see them again. Flexibility of the knee joint and stuff is really good. That's the bend in the knee. Flexibility within the foot is also decent, and yeah, the articulation's wicked. I didn't expect anything less, to be fair, so that's fine. Plan now is going to be, I'm going to make the rest of that foot, that leg. The plan now is that I'm going to make the other leg, so we should have two, and then we're going to be looking at making some of the torso stuff. So far it's took me about an hour and a half to get to where we are now, but yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. No dramas so far, and quite happy with it all. Really good little bits of detail which are just starting to show up and bring it out. So let's carry on. Okay, so both legs done now. Absolutely mega. Yeah, loads easier when you're building a second one because it's everything kind of starts kicking in memory wise, so that's brilliant. But yeah, really happy with how that's turning out. Snips are good. I've been using the red grass snips, tried some of the techniques that they're showing you within here, which is giving you the tip to cut that bit further back and then do the secondary cut on the different parts. On the metal parts, that's pretty essential, to be fair. You've got to make sure that you're cutting further back and then you're cutting on the back of the actual part itself. So yeah, happy with that. The way it's progressing, it's decent. So that probably took another hour on top. We're probably at about 2.5 to 3 hours really. The legs are done in this stage. I'm going to move on to the waist frame and torso. I'm going to find the relevant bits for that and then start building that up. Okay, so using the instructions, I've got the relevant parts and frames that I need for this one, for the waist frame. So we've got E2, we've got B3, we've got MSF1, and we've got this little one which is full of like the rubber bits, but basically makes some of the joints up, which is X2. And we've got a tiny bit of the V1 frame that we need, which is just that little bit there. So going to make this up then. It looks like a fairly short section, so we'll get that sorted and yeah, see how we get on. Okay, so main part of that bottom torso done, and we are pushing this into the actual kit, into the legs. So there we go, that's one in, and that is the other in. So waist frame done there. There's a next part to that waist frame, No, that one's took about another half an hour or so to make that. But yeah, getting to the point where I'm probably going to knock it on the head for the night. But that is pretty cool. A few hours work, evening's work, and then we've got ourselves a pair of legs and a bit of a waist already, which is really, really wicked. Thoughts so far then, instructions are really good, like really, really decent to be fair. Nice and simple explanations for stuff, little gentle reminders about what to pay attention to. There's some cautionary remarks up here about making sure that all the rubber grommet pieces go into place to make sure that you don't miss them or forget them, which is really good. Yeah, I haven't got any issues with it at this point in time. It's turning out exactly how I kind of thought it was, how it's been reported to me before. Barely any nub marks or anything worthy of note. You can see little bits, but I think by the time you finish with it, it's just not going to be an issue. But we'll go on. These next stages are going to take us, yeah, I'm going to get to the point where I get to the chest frame and then I'll knock it on the head, I think, for the evening. I'll do all these little bits that are coming up now and we'll finish that little bit off. And I'll check in with you when I next start the chest frame. Okay, so it is next morning. We're going to start making the chest frame stuff. Before I turned in for the night, I managed to get everything sorted out and cut out for the sprues that I need for this section. Dead handy this, with having those bits there and there within it to say which ones you need. Just picking out the correct bits for it so you can prep for the next stage is really wicked. Bit of a cautionary thing here for something to do with one of the O parts or something like that. It's just a warning really to say make sure you put it in. I quite like that. So let's get on with it and we'll see how we get on with the chest. Okay, so the main torso bit is done, the main chest area. Yeah, it's absolutely, well, it's pretty cool to be fair. You've got this internal core fighter part, which has been created from this. And then we've got the way that kind of sits into here, into the chest area. Now the instructions show you to push that into here, like so, and then push this over the top, and then locate that, I think, into there. There we go. Then I think that is in place. Now I've got a feeling that that's the weak area that everybody talks about, because I think if you move it enough, it basically comes apart again. So the next part of it takes me on to the second part of the chest frame. We'll get the rest of that done and then see where we go. I think it's head, and then we've obviously got arms to do as well. Okay, so full top torso now complete. That is this back part of the backpack here with these really cool metal bits. All done and dusted. It's onto the arms, and then I think onto the head, and then I think we've pretty much completed phase 1 and 2. But the detail on this is absolutely mega. Yeah, well impressed. Goes together pretty well. I've been at it now for about 2.5 hours. built up that torso, and then now onto the arms. See how we get on. Both arms made. Yeah, that's quite good, to be fair. I just like the way it all goes together. I mean, there is a little bit of tidying up to be done, not horrendous at all, but yeah, the arms are all made up. There's a frame for the shoulder pads here, little pistons within the arm. Choice of hands at the minute being an open hand or a closed fist. I've got both on at the minute. But that is your closed fist. Metal coated plastic parts on the internal, then externally you've got the grey, which forms like the armour side of a hand. But yeah, really good. I think we're going to go on to the head frame next, and I think we'll be somewhere near complete for phase 1 and phase 2 after that. We've got just that head frame next, and then we're into phase 3. So to get that done, I'll give you my full thoughts on it. Okay, so head done. Some really cool metal parts that are on here which are really wicked. Loads of see-through lenses and bits and pieces of clear parts that make it all go together. But yeah, that is absolutely done to that stage. We will squeeze that on there. Cool. Let me get this all together then, tidy up, and I will give you my thoughts. Okay, so phase 1 and 2 are complete. As an experience, it's obviously taken last night and then through to this morning to sort of finish that off. It's about 6-7 hours worth of building, and it's been absolutely brilliant all the way. It was good to break it up, in all honesty. I think if I'd done it in one stint, it would have been quite tiring, to be fair. As an experience of how it all goes together, it's absolutely premium Bandai quality. And what I mean by that is all the little bits and pieces go together really, really well. I haven't had any issues with getting the parts together in this sort of sub-assembly through phase 1 and 2. There are some bits that need more pressure on to sort of close up the gaps, and I've had to squish them a little bit with my hands and make a more concerted effort, but in general everything fits together as it should do. Instructions are really, really clear. Engineering wise, the instructions are almost perfection. At the beginning of each phase, it has got the details that you need in order to make sure that you don't really mess anything up. It's got a cautionary box about any parts at particular note that you need to make sure that you put in. It's also got all the sprues that are required for that one phase are detailed within that first page. That's mega. So even if you've got a whole sprue that's required, it obviously details that. But even if you've got a little bit of a sprue, let's say the metallic parts where you only need one small piece of it, it shows you exactly where that piece is and enables you to cut it out, put it on your desk, and be ready to basically go through that next phase. That means that when you are building, you've got all your bits and pieces at one side ready for that phase, to be honest, it's pretty seamless because you've got all the things that you need. It's whittled down to say 4 or 5 pieces of runners, and that just makes this build, easier, massively easier. It doesn't take away from its epicness whatsoever, to be honest. If anything, it just makes it seem really clever. So all the runners as well appear to be well labelled. They're pretty well organised, to be fair. I didn't have any issues with sort of mismatching any parts or anything like that. It's made a complicated model like this really surprisingly simple, to the point where I'd go out on a limb and say, so far there's nothing that anybody without any experience couldn't handle. Yeah, there are techniques in how to cut some of the pieces off in order to not get the nubs on them, but even then the nubs are pretty much hidden in the majority of cases. I'd say 90% of the nubs you'll never see again. There are a couple that I can see that are within the model, which I think are going to get covered up in, if it's not the next phase, then basically by the time you got armor on, you're just never going to see them. But yeah, I'm really impressed at how simplified such a complicated PG model can be. I've built a PG before. I didn't massively enjoy the experience, and it put me off Gunpla for a period of time, to be fair, but that was a long time ago. Okay, so articulation and functionality of the actual frame itself. This thing seems to be really articulate. I can't believe the technology within the frame that actually starts off both the legs and the arms. They've got this amazing sort of system where they've been able to produce and manufacture at least two different types of plastic, where you've got a hard plastic and a rubberized type plastic, and it allows it to move and create the joint for the legs and the arms. It's absolutely amazing how they've made that, and especially how they've made it work so well out of the box. I haven't had to do anything to it, clipped it off, snipped it, cleaned it up, and it literally works, and it forms that foundation of both the arms and the legs really well. That means that in general, as you're adding on the other parts, that it really does feel like the articulation at each point is there. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have had a couple of times where I've tried to stand it up and it's fallen over, but I think that's more about me being not very good at posing Gunpla than it is actually the model. When you bend the leg all the way back and you bend the knees and stuff, there is a lot of movement there. It's really quite impressive for such a big model, to be fair. Even as you look down the arms, you've got both a rotation within the arm, you've got the elbow joint, but you've even got wrist flexion within it. It is just really cool. The only thing I would say is, it's a little bit disappointing, is that the hands aren't articulated. Now, I knew that going in. I know from previous PGs and some of the MGs that they used to have articulated hands, but I don't know why they just haven't gone down that road. I don't think it detracts from the model, because at this point in time you've got a metal inner frame and a plastic outer, where it does look really quite detailed, and the hand poses are quite nice. But it's just a bit of a shame. Yeah, I really do like them, but it is just a bit of a shame that they're not doing anything with a bit of articulation in it, even if they had these as one part and then an option to have the articulated hands. I think I would have preferred the articulated hands, to be fair. But other than that, it all seems to be coming together. And what I've got now at the end of phase 1 and 2, which I'll show you in the videos, is like an articulated Gundam that's there ready for this new phase 3 metal frame system to go on top of it, which is even cooler. Can't really see any of the gimmicks apart from in the carves. I can see where some of the gimmicks are going to sort of take place, but I can see some of the detail that's been put into, say, the knees, the elbows with the metal pieces and stuff. They're all starting to sort of take shape a little bit, where I think they're going to be the open hatch gimmicks. In respect of specialist parts, it has got some really cool metal parts. On the backpack there are two what effectively look like jet thrusters at the back, which are specialist metal anodized parts. And also in the head, it's got these really cool vents that are normally on the top of a Gundam's helmet, and they are made out of brass, really well etched. Great, great little piece, separated from the rest of the kit, so it's easy enough to find and stuff, and they go in there. And it's just those little finishing touches which are making it look spectacular even at this kind of point, to be fair. Not to get too excited, I wouldn't keep this now in the state that it's in, but I'm impressed with the engineering and how that actually looks even at this stage. In respect of using stickers and stuff like that, I haven't used any of the stickers for the head, for the eyes and bits and pieces, so I am hoping the LED is going to shine through there and it's going to light that up, which would be absolutely mint. My only negative so far has been there's a couple of stickers in and around the arm, basically, that you put on, which are like danger stickers and stuff. They're rubbish. I'm just not impressed with them at all. There shouldn't be stickers on a kit like this. It should be water slide decals. I'm rectifying that. I have got a set of decals coming. I just think for the money,
it should have been a set of decals anyway. I'm a bit disappointed really with what Bandai have done with that. I think it's an oversight on their behalf, because other than that, everything else is absolutely top-notch premium kit. Lots of different types of colour of plastics, well thought out instructions, great little metal covered parts, and then a set of stickers which are just is poor show. Not to detract from that, then the experience has been really, really good. I've really enjoyed this. I'm really also looking forward to doing the next phase, and I'm looking forward to getting some armor on it after that as well. So far, really impressed. It is actually meeting my expectations in relation to what I've been told about the kit, what I've seen about the kit, and just the overall feeling. It doesn't feel like a chore. It's a big kit. It's going to take some time, but to be honest, that whole journey is really cool. Having everything come together, that each stage you get something tangible like a leg finished or an arm finished, it's really good. It's going to take the most time to do the legs and do the bottom part of the torso, and then after that it kind of accelerates quite quickly. It's really good, brilliant experience. Looking forward to phase 3. If you've enjoyed the video, if it's giving you something to think about with this model build, then please do hit the like button. If you want to drop me a comment, if you guys are building this model as well at this point in time, then let me know. Let me know what you think. I've been really impressed by it. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, I've been modeling for years, but the engineering in these now has got me really focused in on Bandai and focused in on the Gundam line products. In respect of ongoing videos, I'd love it if you subscribe. Really chuffed that at this point in filming there is 37 subscribers. Absolutely mega. I've had some great interactions with people both from the UK and the USA at the minute on the channel. I can't believe there's so many people actually watching within the USA. It's really, really cool that we're going, you know, I'm getting people interacting from overseas. That's absolutely mega. So yeah, if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thumbs up and like the video if you think it's okay, and yeah, drop us a comment if you want to talk about this, you want to ask me any questions about it, ask away. I hope everybody's okay. I hope you're getting some hobbying done, and I will see you for the next video. Just look after yourselves. Take care.